All right. Everybody ready? Okay. All right. Thank you. This is a regular monthly meeting of the Princeton Historic Preservation Commission being held in person on November 17th at 5 p.m. in 2025 in the main meeting room of Princeton Municipal Building, 400 Witherspoon Street, Princeton, New Jersey. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the time and place and agenda of this meeting has been noticed by transmitting a copy to the Princeton Packet, Town Topics, the Times, the Trentonian, and by filing a copy with the Clerk of Princeton, who has posted this to the municipal website, www.princetonnj.gov/meetings, and posted on the official bulletin board at the Princeton Municipal Complex, 400 Witherspoon Street, Princeton, New Jersey. Elizabeth, do you want to call the roll?
Yes. Ms. Satterfield? Mr. Shatskin?
Here.
Ms. Howard? Here. Mr. Shore?
I'm here.
Ms. Friedman? Ms. Kroll? Here. Ms. Maria? Chairperson Capizzoli.
Here. All right. Do you have any announcements, Elizabeth?
No announcements.
Okay. Like I said, we are waiting for another member of the commission to arrive, but we have a lot of business to take care of ahead of time, so hopefully she'll be here soon. Public comment. I know there's one person who'd like to, if you want to come on up.
Thank you. My name is Bill Shields. I'm actually a resident of West Windsor. I live on 158 Line Road, but I'm also very much involved with the town. I'm a chairman for 9/11 committee over there that put that monument. I'm president of Engine Company number 1. I've been a 55-year member of the fire department in town. My father was a member, my brother was a member, my uncle was a member. We go way back to this town, so I'm very much attached to the town, and I want the best for the town. I approached the council meeting a couple months back when I found out, and it was in September, I found out in August, June rather, that they were going to put affordable housing in Chester Street Firehouse. So what I'd like to do, I have a 2-minute thing I'm going to read to you, which I presented to the council, and then I'll just give you about 30-second follow-up on that on what actually I'm in the process of doing now. I believe transparency is essential. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very challenging and very, I guess, really going to put a black eye on the town. We don't want that to occur. All right, so let me just get this out here real fast, and we'll move on. All right. I stand before you today as a former chief and president of Princeton Engine Company and a proud member of a family whose legacy has been intertwined with a vital institution for generations. The Princeton Fire Company number 1 has been more than just a fire station. It's been a cornerstone of this community, a history, and the broader fire service of Princeton for nearly 2 centuries. The building we are speaking about is not just a structure, it's a repository of stories, sacrifices, and memories that have shaped the town. Upstairs in that firehouse, we have decades, actually centuries of historical memorabilia, including uniform photographs and artifacts dating back to the 1800s. These are irreplaceable pieces of our collective past, pieces that speak to the bravery, dedication, and resilience of the men and women who served this town long before us. The proposal to repurpose this firehouse for a low-income housing project, while undoubtedly well-intentioned, risks erasing this history. Our history is not just mine, but the history of every citizen of Princeton who have benefited from the service and sacrifices of this department. The integrity of the building, the preservation of historical records, and the memories of impact on our community must be taken into account before any changes are made. I ask not just as a former leader of the fire company, but as someone who deeply cares about the town of Princeton, that we find a way to preserve this legacy. We cannot allow this building to be a loss of time and its invaluable history to be buried beneath the weight of modern development. It is possible to balance the need for affordable housing with the preservation of our town history, but that will require thoughtful planning, community engagement, and above all, respect to the sacrifices that have shaped the very fabric of Princeton. In closing, I urge you to reconsider the proposed plan and to explore the alternatives that honors both our present and our past. Let us find a way to ensure that this legacy of Princeton Fire Company #1 is not erased, but preserved for the future generations. Now, I presented that to the council meeting back in the end of the summer when I found out this was taking place. I also gave to the council, I say, package or multiple use for that building that could benefit the town. I also, in the process with the state, New Jersey preservation people, trying to save that building. The building itself is only 1949 it was built, but actually the footprint there goes back to 1860. All right, it was the fire company, my department, goes back to 1794. So I'm just here today to give you a heads up what's going on. I'll be approaching you people, asking for consideration as we go through this process. I'm working very close with Ed for the affordable housing people in the community housing authority. I gave him copies of all the plans I had from the original building that was built there in the 1860 and the 1949, which is helping them immensely in planning this out. I know it's a process, it'll be a few years getting done. I hope it never gets done and but so be it. But we can't hold up progress, but we have to look at it in the best interest of the town, in the memories, in what the history is built there, and for the pocketbook, folks. That's the big thing. So thank you very much, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. All right, anyone else for public comment? If not, we're going to move on to the minutes. So we'll start with March 17th. The people who can vote are David, myself, Frida, and Roger. This is when we reviewed Charter Club and the ramp and all that business. So are there any changes or suggestions? And if not, is there a motion to approve the March 17th minutes? Okay, thanks, Frida. Seconded by David. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Yep. Okay, motion carried. Next, we have April 7th. The people who can vote are Frida, Roger, David, and Shirley, but she's not here, and myself. So this is the draft, the minutes for April 7th. We were looking at the wheelhouse at the Updike Farm, and we were also looking at the door for the Nassau Presbyterian Church. Motion to approve?
The motion to approve?
Okay, thank you. Second? Okay, thanks, Frida. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Very Elric-centered minutes.
Yes, yes, and we wish he were here to vote. The third set of minutes is from Monday, August 18th, 2025, and this is when Crown Castle had the 3 applications. We voted on 2 of them and carried one. It's Frida, Roger, myself, and Emily. So if there are no changes, would someone like to move approval of the minutes? Thanks, Emily.
Madam
Yeah.
Chair, just
Yes.
wondering, so this one, which is August 18th, which had, oh, never mind. I thought that, I didn't realize Ed was there. My apologies.
Yeah. So moved by Emily, seconded by Frida. Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Thank you. Now we have a lot of resolutions. The first resolution is containing the multiple properties for the Princeton Theological Seminary. So this is Princeton Historic Preservation Commission application of Princeton Theological Seminary Historic Preservation Plan approval, hardscape and landscape improvements to Mercer Hill District. Let's see. Does it have the addresses in here? The addresses would be 44 Mercer, 15 to 17 Alexander, 19 Alexander, 25, 27 Alexander, 29 Alexander, and 31 Alexander Street. All right.
Madam Chair, I was
Yes.
wondering if I could ask our attorney, I know that with the email you sent that you said that you needed a little clarification on something, but I didn't get to actually read it, what it was. Was that resolved? With the email, I think that you said that there was something that was still outstanding?
Oh, yes, you had mentioned something about driveway lighting.
Oh, yeah, because the application, I think it was 29 and 31, which were adjacent to each other. I think it just says add lighting, and I think that we just want to say it was along the driveway.
Okay, so then under.
So it'd be for both of those, I believe, because I think the driveway is split between the two properties, is that correct?
Yes, so and did they, was that included in the plans, or did the plans need to be revised to include the driveway lighting?
The lighting, I believe, was approved as is, but the one on 31, they needed to, and you had added in there that the landscape should be adjusted so it's not in front of any of the existing windows on the building.
Yes. So I think for, under this section, one, it's, the whereas it has a lot of numbers underneath it on the 1, 2, 3rd page that says what the applicant is seeking. That will just be revised for 29 and 30 to note that they are also seeking approval of driveway lighting.
Okay, on E and F,
Yes.
29 and 31, in addition to driveway with parking lot and driveway, they'll both be having driveway lighting. Okay. All right.
I think it's
Any
more like
other
pedestrian lighting, right?
changes?
But I have a question for the two of you. It comes from Emily who voted no. Does she then still vote no on the resolution, or the
No,
resolution?
she doesn't vote the
Doesn't
resolution.
vote
Right.
on it.
Right, okay.
Perfect.
All right, so
Yeah, so I think that
But-
lighting is actually more like pedestrian lighting and not driveway lighting, you know, even though they're using the
Oh,
driveway. Because it was
yeah.
for the residents and the neighbors to be able to cut through to get to the seminary lands.
But, I mean, since it's at the driveway, would we still call it driveway lighting?
I had it in there as pathway lighting.
That's good.
Okay, pathway, all right. So
Okay, no,
20,
it's already in there, we don't need a, I have install pathway lighting in there.
Okay,
so
all right.
that's- Okay,
okay,
we don't need to do anything to it then.
all right. Any other changes or suggestions? Now, because Roger voted no and Emily voted no,
I don't think it matters because it's just the facts of the meeting.
so because it's just,
Typically, we just have the people, only the people that voted yes on the resolution vote on the resolution.
all right, so it would just be, yeah, so it would just be myself and David.
Then we need to,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Then
fine,
we need
but
the votes
is
without
it
the
true
resolution,
because
then-
they didn't vote in favor of, that they can't approve the
usually yes,
res?
they do, but in this case, I would say you would invoke what's called the doctrine of necessity, and we have to have them vote because we just don't have
Okay.
enough members.
Okay. Did you vote on that one? Yeah, you weren't here. So, all right, so this is just a document of what happened.
Correct.
But,
Do you want me to do roll call, or do you?
sure, let's
Okay.
do roll call.
Okay. Mr. Shatskin? It's just a, yeah,
I mean, so we need a quorum to,
You need a quorum at least
Okay.
to vote on it.
all right,
And then a simple majority of those that are eligible to vote.
So what was that? You were? No.
No,
Okay.
no what?
So he's not voting for the resolution. So,
But isn't it just a matter of fact and not that you're,
It's a motion to adopt the resolution.
right?
Simple majority.
But the
Okay.
resolution is a factual, not that you're voting that you're going to approve or not approve the application, but that the resolution,
okay,
You can just let the minutes reflect that his vote doesn't acknowledge his support of the application, but his support of the
facts of the resolution. Okay, all right. Ms. Howard?
oh, she was in here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Mr. Shore? Ms. Kroll?
I couldn't hear what, Rogers, what the resolution was
So
there.
the resolution is really of the fact, it's kind of like fact of findings for the project, you know, that certain things were discussed, and this was approved, and not necessarily that you are stating that you are in support of it, but that you're saying that it's a true resolution of what occurred with the application and what was adopted.
Okay, in that case, yes, this is
Okay.
correct. Record.
Chairperson Capizzoli?
Yes.
Okay, so that's, okay, great.
All right, thank you. All right, we have more resolutions. We have the resolution for Glen Freeze and the owner, Kevin and Alicia Merce, at 210 Cherry Hill Road, demolishing the existing pool house and building a new pool house in the Tusculum Historic District buffer. Would someone like to make a motion? Okay, thanks, David. Thanks, Emily. So it was, motion was made by David and seconded by Emily.
Question for you. I didn't get who for the motions for the seminary ones.
Oh,
Did I miss that?
Oh, did we do that? That, I think that was, I think, maybe I did go ahead on that one.
You can just redo it.
All right, we can redo it. Sorry. So would someone like to make a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
with apologies, I couldn't hear with your attorney's microphone was quiet. It did seem, my understanding would be that only those who were present and voted in favor would be eligible to vote on the resolution, but it seemed like everyone was voting. I just want to have some clarity on what the
Right.
procedure is.
So we just don't have a quorum if the people who voted for the resolution, it's only two of us.
Though
So.
usually under the MLUL, that, well, I don't know if I'm objecting to everyone voting, but if when they make motions, if it, for the record, could be those who are eligible to vote, I would appreciate it.
Yep, I agree with that assertion. We're just, at this point, because we don't have enough people here, I said by the doctrine of necessity, we have to have enough people to at least get the matter to the floor.
Unless it gets carried to another meeting.
Well, again, I think the case law says that you actually can, it's once you've opened the meeting, but again, as long as, my request would be that the motion and second be from the members who are eligible to vote, because I believe under the MLUL, those are the only two votes that would likely be considered. But
Okay.
if we could do that, that'd be my,
All right,
Request.
so David, do you want to move the resolution for the seminary? Okay, and then I'll second.
thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, and then do we go back and do the vote again?
I can do that.
Okay,
So it's just for you and David then, correct?
yeah,
Okay. Mr. Shore? Chairperson Capizzoli?
yes,
Motion
Okay.
passed.
okay. So we're moving on to, again, 210 Cherry Hill Road. Same meeting, so would someone like to make a motion?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, what was that?
Oh, I'm asking for a motion for 210 Cherry Hill Road for the resolution. Oh, we did, no, we didn't. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, so we did that for the seminary. That wasn't for Cherry Hill Road. That was for the seminary, not Glen Freeze project. So now we have to do Glen Freeze project. See, yeah, the reason that we had to go back is because with the seminary resolutions, I had forgotten to get a motion and a second. So we just did that. Okay, so now we're moving on to Glenn's project. Okay, we didn't vote on that yet.
I didn't hear the,
David and.
could you talk in the micro, I'm sorry, I just can't hear anybody. David, okay, and who's second?
I seconded.
Emily,
Thank you.
so
Okay.
let's,
Mr. Shatskin? Yes. Mr. Shore?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Chairperson Capizoli?
yes, sorry about that. All right, everyone, we're moving on to the resolution for the application of the trustees of Princeton University, 18 to 40 Edwards Place, replacement of windows, doors, siding, trim, railings, brick stoops, corner boards, skirt boards, entry details, and lighting in the Mercer Hill District. Would someone like to move that resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Roger. So it was moved by Emily and seconded by Roger.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Is she okay? Mr. Shatskin? Yes. Mr. Shore?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Chairperson Capizoli?
Yes.
Leighton just told me that Shirley's not going to make it. She fell coming out of her house.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I'm very sorry to say that for 344 Nassau Street, we have just found out that our member Shirley Satterfield will not be able to attend the meeting because of a fall. We do not have a quorum for that application because there were members who recused themselves. And at this point, and one member traveling. We tried very hard. Okay, if you can, yeah, let us know. Yeah, so we are going to move on to our first application and wait and see. But we will go on after the first application to the third application. So the first application is 6 to 10 Nassau Street, installing new snow guards. It's Sasha Rizzo. This is in the Central Historic District.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I believe that we have other matters prior to that application. We have that under the quincentennial on the agenda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Hang on there. So, Kip Cherry, I'm so sorry. Kip Cherry, I see you're on the agenda just before that first application. Okay. sorry. Do you want to speak now? Okay, why don't we just do it now?
Okay, looking good. So as you know, for the 250th anniversary, we submitted for 2 state markers. And I'm giving you an update on that. And also, if anyone is interested in looking at the locations that we chose, I'll be happy to send you a little map so you can go out and look. I'm pretty sure we're going to get our markers. I mean, I don't have any real hint, but I just sense that we are. So it would be good if you go out there and take a look at the location, and I'd be glad to send you the text as it stands. At this point, we were told that in December we would find out who was chosen when the State Historical Commission makes their vote. Unfortunately, now it's been pushed to January. So we won't know in December, and the text and the location, the finite location, is going to be reinforced after they do their public vote. So we'll have one more take on it. So that's why I think it's important for you all to go out and take a look, especially before the snow flies, so you can see for yourselves how this marker is going to work, each marker. The one coming in on Quaker Road and the one going out towards Kingston. And I have a question for you to just kind of wet your whistle. How many of you know where Pluckerman is? Pluckerman. Does it ring any bells? Pluckerman?
Puckerman.
Well, that's where, okay, David, that's good. That's where the Continental Army went after it went through Kingston. It went to Pluckerman, and it stopped there to bury someone who had died at the Battle of Princeton. And that person's name was Captain Leslie, and he was British. But he was a friend of Benjamin Rush. They had been in school together in Scotland. And so Washington knew the story and felt that it was very important to give him a proper burial, and so had sent word ahead to find a minister so that they would have a proper funeral in Pluckerman, which is right off of 206. If you go up north on 206, you will see a sign eventually that says Pluckerman. So I think these little tidbits kind of bring home the Battle of Princeton. It was real, and that was one of the funny things about the application, was that they wanted me to prove that it was real. And there aren't many original documents to prove that it was real. But the letters that were sent to Leslie's father, who was an earl, describing his death on the battlefield is one of the pieces of truth that we have, that the battle really happened. So I will report more when I have more to report, and stay optimistic. And as I said, I'll send you the locations if you just email to me, and I'll send that. I'll just email to everybody, then you'll all have it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kip. Appreciate it. The other matter that we had on our agenda is the Revolution New Jersey panels. Is someone here to speak to that? All right, oh yeah, Clifford, you have something, a public comment or just something to update?
I just wanted to say, Julie, you mentioned a few minutes ago that you wish Elric was here.
Who was that?
That you wished Elric was here.
Yeah.
You said that a few minutes ago. So we have Elric to thank for helping us all understand the significance of this building. And on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the family is having a celebration for Elric at the Howell Living History Farm in Hopewell on Woodens Lane. It's from 1 until 4 p.m. And there's going to be some tributes that people are going to make to him at 2 o'clock. HPC, everyone is invited, and it should be a nice gathering to celebrate Elric. It's going to be in a barn that he and his partner in the New Jersey Barn Company moved to the Howell Farm. So it'd be a very appropriate place.
Thank you. So this is Sunday, November 23rd, between 1 and 4 p.m. at the Howell Living Farm?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And there's also some conversation about having some gathering for Rick at the Historical Society, perhaps in the spring. So
Okay.
we'll, if that happens, we'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. And we'll send an email to remind commission members. All right, we're going to move on to the application of Sasha Rizzo at 610 Nassau Street now.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
believe that Daniel would like to know if there's an opportunity to reschedule their application, either with a special meeting or,
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Did they have to provide any notice for this application?
not for
Okay.
us, yes.
So,
yeah, so
That makes things easier.
I would be happy to work with you to try to do that. We'll have to find out when Charlotte is going to be in town, because she would make a quorum. And she's out of the country, so she's the other person who could vote.
Daniel, do you have any time restrictions, like dates that you know that you're not going to be available or your team won't be available? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so if we could, I guess part of this is not having the information of when people are going to be available, but do you want to try a tentative date?
Yeah, man, it probably makes sense to find out when people are available and go based around that.
I mean, because, Elizabeth, what do you think about trying for Monday, the 24th?
Of February?
No, of
Of
November.
Oh, I'm sorry, November 24th? Is that next Monday?
Yeah.
We could try, yeah. I mean.
Could we try for that?
Yeah, because I think what you want to do is you want to be able to have HPC hear your application and then go to, do you know, are you scheduled for next month for zoning in December?
I think that was the hope, but at least if I can get HPC going, I can take the next steps.
I think,
Yeah, I think that you were hoping to go before zoning before I left, is that correct?
That was the hope.
Okay.
and
All right.
is, Elizabeth, can Ed cover this, or does Tara have to be here?
I think that we decided that was probably best for Tara to continue.
I
because we
already
ha-
have to be in 2 places at once
Oh,
that Monday,
that
so
day?
adding a third is really going to complicate it.
Okay, what's your schedule? How about like the first week in December?
Yeah, like December 1st?
Yep, Monday, December 1st is good.
Okay. All right, well, why don't we try for that?
And we'll send an email out to make sure that we can get a quorum, hopefully more than 4, so we have a little backup, okay? Yes.
Okay, and we really do apologize. We were, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, tentative date is Monday, December 1st for 344 Nassau Street.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's wrap up those 2 applications.
Okay.
Well, is there anyone to speak to the Revolution New Jersey brochure
So I thought that Carolyn said that she was going to have someone here for it, but I guess maybe she wasn't able to. But I think that there was a link there that showed people what the panel was. Again, what we had told Carolyn is, we really need to know what the context is before we go before council and say we'd really like this to be something that HPC would support.
Right. So it would be good to get more information about it, maybe at our special meeting.
And
Yeah,
she
we
did
could do
reach
that.
out.
I mean, I looked, the brochure is fairly general. It looks like, I think I've spoken about this. The panels are going to focus more on what quote unquote ordinary people were doing during the revolution rather than the main actors and the heroes and heroines we know about. I think it's probably worth doing. But the last time I looked at the website, it was sold out. So it was fully subscribed. And I'll have to go back and maybe call the contact person to see when they're going to open it up again. I think from the time we started till now, they got a very big response with a little bit of lag time.
Right.
All right, so maybe if we have the special meeting on December 1st, we could do a follow-up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Regarding 610, the applicant is not going to be here.
Okay.
But he's in Florida, that's where he lives. But he was hoping this would be a simple application. And he is going to be watching YouTube Live,
Okay.
although,
I
no
hope he
conversation.
hasn't given up. All right, do you want to summarize the report?
Sure. So Serena Holdings LLC, the applicant, is filing an application with the Office of Historic Preservation to install snow guards to the roof of the existing building at address 610 Nassau Street. The property is further identified as Block 19.01, Lot 9, in the CBCP zone of the former Princeton Borough. The property is located in the Central Historic District and classified as Type 2 on the Princeton zoning overlay map of historic preservation districts and buffer districts, which is subject to preservation plan review for any changes visible from the public right-of-way. And its visible parameters also include painting or adding other surface coloring to an unpainted surface or adding pre-primed and pre-material. This property also lies in the New Jersey National Register of Historic Places, Princeton Historic District, and the Kings Highway Historic District. I think that HPC is familiar with the history of both those districts. So just to go ahead, the building on this property received numerous approvals, which really first started when they sustained a fire in December 19, 2019. I think many of you who are here recall that. All the buildings, excluding the paired attic windows, have been replaced, and new wall sconces and a new color scheme was approved by the HPC subcommittee. The color has not been applied yet. The application received in the September of 2025 of this year had asked for about 20% of their slate roof to be replaced, which was approved administratively by Julie and myself. However, he needed to have the snow guard approved because hand in hand, that's what the installation would happen. And again, because this is a new material that's being installed, it needs to come before HPC. So Ian, I think that you have the samples that you could pass around. He's got the slate, which has obviously already been approved, but you could see the slate, and then the snow guard, which he had provided the sample. So he proposed the snow guard to be a PD10R, which is manufactured by Alpine Snow Guard. These are pad-style snow barrier guards that hold the snow to the building, to the roof, with flat strips and hooks to anchor the system under the slate shingles. Material is a lead-coated copper. Visible portions of the snow guard will be 2 feet 3.5 inches long with a riveted fish head design. Guards will be installed in 2x4 layout, which is 4 feet on center along rows and 2 feet between the rows, and they'll be placed in alternate locations. And the top row will start at 10 feet below the ridge. And the installation, as you see on the roof plan, is proposed only along the roof surfaces that face Nassau Street, and it's really intended to protect the Nassau Street pedestrians. So that's really the application. That's what he's asking for. And there's really no other comments about this. Just that HBC should determine if the installation of snow guards are appropriate for the historic building, and if so, if the style, the installation method, and the patterns are also appropriate.
All right, thank you. Do members have any questions for Elizabeth?
Oh, and I'll note that I'm going to mark the slate roof tile and the snow guard as Exhibit 1.
Okay.
I couldn't tell from the positioning diagram if they were going to have any bars, because these
No,
No bars?
it's just the
just
fish
the
heads,
individual,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think, then I believe it'll blend in. It's copper, it'll turn dark, it'll match the slate, and it's used in a lot of historical applications.
All right, thanks. Any other, David?
Two things. I noticed that at 2-4 Nassau Street, the other large building right next door, which is where our office is, we have snow guards, or snow rails, I think. And the other thing I was going to say is, every year, it's very dangerous out there that they have to close the sidewalk, and it's hard to argue in any way against this. It seems appropriate and necessary, and they've taken the time to find us nice samples.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone else have any comments? All right, sounds pretty obvious. All right, would someone like to make a motion? David?
I move that we approve the snow, what are these called?
Snow
Snow
guards.
guards.
Snow guards as opposed to snow rail. As the samples were submitted. I don't think there's anything else.
No, I think that's it.
Second?
All right, thanks, Roger. Okay, I guess we'll go to a vote.
Mr. Shatskin?
Yes.
Ms. Howard? Mr. Shore?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Chairperson Capizzoli?
Yes, thank you.
Motion passed.
All right. We will move on to the application for 6 Evelyn Place. This is a setback variance. This is a project that we had approved recently. And Elizabeth, did you want to go over your report?
Sure. The applicant Evelyn 6 LLC has filed an application request of variance for a new single-family house that was built in the front yard setback. The property lies in the Jugtown Historic District and is identified as Block 34.01, Lot 7, on the Princeton tax map and is in the R3B borough. It is further identified as having an address of 6 Evelyn Place. The application is in the jurisdiction of the Zoning Board of Adjustment, with which the Historic Preservation Commission serves as advisory to the board. Jugtown is also classified as Type 2 Historic District on Princeton's zoning overlay map of historic preservation districts and buffer districts, was subject to preservation plan review for any changes visible from the public right-of-way. I'm just going to kind of go forward with this. As HPC probably recalls, this application came before them. I believe it was in 2024, which was approved with some conditions which they satisfied. It did not need to go before the planning board or the zoning board. It was strictly a historic preservation application. And during construction, they discovered that the building was built within their prevailing setback. And I believe that the variance that they're requesting is for a 2-foot relief. Is that correct, Mr. Kennedy?
It is.
So the HPC is just asked if they find that this is if it impacts the property, the streetscape, the district negatively. But what I would like to say is, HPC never wants to support an error. So if they do find this acceptable or that they have no objections, I think that maybe the best way to state that is that they have no objection, versus supporting it. I think that we just don't want to use that term.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Elizabeth, much appreciated. Since we will need a witness, I'll ask our architect to sit up with me just to make sure I don't slip into testifying. But Ryan Kennedy from the law firm of Stevens & Lee for the applicant. As Ms. Kim said, I think everything she described is correct. This is a home that was approved in the form that you're looking at on your screen at an earlier meeting. What's very interesting here is that it was actually approved at the exact location that it was built at. We'll talk through that very briefly, so just get an understanding of both just the unique nature of this lot, the unique nature of setbacks on this street because it's so small, where one of the three houses to compare is actually perpendicular to it. A nuance that I think our team wasn't familiar with prevailing setbacks when you don't have enough to create the averaging. And ultimately what we think is I'll say minimal, really a no impact to any of the items that setbacks are meant to consider. So I'll just, again, so I don't end up totally testifying if Jeff Fleischer, our architect, just could come in. He's been before this board many times. Would ask if he could be sworn in this evening, just so we have a witness on the record.
Mr. Fleischer, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give this evening is the whole truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Yes, thank you.
I do.
And Jeff, you've appeared before this board many times as an expert in architecture,
Yes, I have.
including probably on this actual application?
Yes.
Yeah. All right,
Yes.
thank
All
you.
right, so
We have one exhibit. It's 7 slides. One of them is what you're looking at. The last one says thank you. It'll be quite short. First on slide 2, and Tara, if we mark the entire thing as one
Yeah,
exhibit
this is
tonight?
short enough.
Okay,
I think
thank
it's
you.
fine to just mark the whole thing as Exhibit A1.
Thank you. So Jeff, here, this is in blue is the subject property, 6 Evelyn Place.
Yes.
This next slide marked out, so as part of getting it setback calculated in Princeton, you speak to the zoning and engineering office. They give you the other items on the street. I guess this is a particularly unique street where there are not enough houses to actually calculate an average. And interestingly, of the 3 on the side of the street, 8 Evelyn, which is perpendicular at the end of the cul-de-sac, was one of the 3.
That's correct. Yes.
And normally when you're calculating a prevailing setback, they give you a number and then you can build a home plus or minus 2 feet from that number.
Yes.
But I guess in this case, they gave you, because there weren't enough to do the average under the definition, they gave you a number, but it turns out you cannot do plus or
Right.
minus 2 feet
They
from it.
they gave me 3 to choose from. 33 was the smallest, so we chose that, assuming that we still had the 2 foot to play with.
And as it turns out, in this scenario, you do not. Going to our next slide, the same aerial map with the 3 example setbacks shown, and then again, because it's at the end of the cul-de-sac with a undulating front yard setback, you could see both where the house was placed, how Jeff designed it to follow the setback. Interestingly, the part that is closest to the neighbor's house could have been closer to the street from a setback perspective. So this is actually set back from the absolute closest to the street that it could have been. And unfortunately, we'll zoom in on a little bit, because it was placed in the field at 31 feet rather than 33, which again was, as it turns out, what this board was shown when it was initially approved here. That little corner that's circled of the front room of the home clips into part of that undulating setback. Here is the revised kind of as-built, well, as partially built, and I'll let Jeff talk about that in a second, location of the dwelling where you could see the difference between 31 and 33 feet and how it clips that little corner of one of the staged setbacks that was designed in the home. Here we've got the renderings that would have been part of the original project, where you could see both on the site plan where that corner is and what part of the house that represents. Jeff, if before we go to a slide, this is thank you, just update the board. Ultimately, this was something that the homeowner, or excuse me, the property owner developer found. They noticed the field, we'll call it a field mistake in the interpretation, immediately went to the town, stopped work, and we've been here waiting to see what to do to come back for zoning. So the home is, the foundations are set,
Right.
the framing is up, and the question really is what to do, whether we go forward with a what we would describe to the zoning board is a very minor front yard setback request versus something more drastic, taking the home down, rebuilding it, or I suppose some type of redesign to remove that corner. Jeff, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that states it all. That it would be very difficult to take that corner off without affecting the building and the design.
No, my understanding is that literally the home that was approved from a visual perspective and a location perspective with the plot plan that was shown to this board actually was this location, just wasn't understood at the time that this little corner of variance would be needed. That happened later, and that, combined with the field mistake, brings us here today.
And that when they were setting the building, there was a little jockeying of the building because of some existing trees that they were trying to avoid. We actually cantilevered part of the building, moved the foundation in on the side to accommodate an existing tree.
And so ultimately, this particular location helped with tree preservation on the lot?
Yes.
So happy to answer any questions, but ultimately that's what we're here to show. We think this lot, I probably would be saying this number was a de minimis exception regardless, but what's unique about this street and this lot is that what normally the code thinks about with a front yard setback are things that the eye can understand. They are fronts of homes that are next to each other or lined up. Here, going back just a few slides, you could see two of the homes we are actually set behind still, even in this situation. And the third one that would count is perpendicular and from a setback perspective, while it counts as part of the equation, is hard to understand how it relates because it's turned 90 degrees from the house. So with that, it is a extremely unique situation, both us being here now mid-construction, of course, but with a front yard setback with so few homes to compare it to, and one that undulates that where so little of it actually is both in the setback and the home itself. The actual front that we would describe is actually set back a few feet from where it could be set back.
All right, thanks. Yes, Elizabeth?
I just have a question. I mean, obviously, I have Derek's memo. Why is it that you were not allowed that 2-foot buffer? Is it because you only had 3 properties to compare it with?
Yeah, I'll be honest, and I'm before the board a lot, and here, I don't know that I would have known that had I been involved initially in the project. The definition of prevailing setback requires at least 5 homes to use. So in the scenario where there's less than 5, you get to match one of the less than 5 homes, but in that scenario, there's not the plus or minus. In the averaging scenario, there is.
Oh,
And that part of the ordinance is actually, that sentence is at the very end of the ordinance. And I admittedly have never come into this situation before, so.
yeah, I don't think we've ever run into this before either. Anyway, are there questions for Jeff or Ryan about this situation?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, Frida?
Which room is that in the front that would be made smaller? Which rooms are those
It's
upstairs?
a first floor guest room and a second floor bedroom.
So they're both bedrooms?
Bedrooms, yes. Mhm.
Okay.
And it's a tight site and unusual shape, so we had to squeeze those in there.
Right, other questions?
I guess
Did-
I just had a procedural sort of question about this. So because they did get approval back in September 2023, are we considering this an amendment to those approvals, or is this a new and separate application and we just will make reference to the September 2023?
Yeah, it's a new application, a
Because it
zoning
triggers-
application,
Okay.
because
it-
they're going in for a variance. So
Okay.
HPC is just going to serve as advisory and provide their
Okay.
memo to them.
So we'll provide a memo to zoning.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to clarify that before we, and
what-
then, so if that's the case, does it make sense then to have the September 2023 resolution as Exhibit A2 so that that can be referenced and any testimony on the record for that is incorporated herein?
Is
Makes
it
sense to me.
23
Yeah.
or 24?
I thought I saw 23 in,
I thought it was 24.
oh, it was 24. I was looking, oh, you know what? The
I think there-
application was made in 23 and then heard in 24.
Yeah, I think there was a concept review in 23,
Yes.
and the actual application was in 24.
Okay.
So
Okay.
while, I don't know it was included in the packet, I imagine there's Elizabeth's HPO report, which I imagine predated the hearing, and would there have been a resolution of approval as well?
Yep,
Yeah, because back then, they didn't need zoning board approval, so it would have been a
Right.
resolution of HPC.
so there would have been a resolution in October of 2024, I think?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to reference that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Derek will get everything right. My only possible concerns, I know, and even I got some of this wrong, because I wasn't involved in the initial project, but what was approved was visually, there were some, some back and forth and changes, and what you guys approved was a little different than the initial plans, and I don't know if that is what's reflected in the May report, if that's the initial report, or if the final version of what was approved. We'll certainly represent that no other changes are
Okay.
occurring.
I think the resolution included what the conditions of approval were. There was a subcommittee that actually worked on some architectural detail, Jeffrey calls it, like the band that went around the building,
Yes,
and the porch height, and also the board,
Yeah,
they
the
were
finish
interested in it
and-
lining
and
up.
the- Yeah,
Right.
and the railings.
Yeah, yeah. So it was more, it had nothing to do with construction, really.
Is my understanding correct that if the street had been straight and didn't have the curve with the circle at the end, it would have been in conformance?
That's correct. So if you see, here in green is the front yard setback. So where the front, I'll just, because we're looking from the house towards the street here, I'll say the front right, the home is in gray here. The front of the house, if it were a triangle or if it was set up at, even to the street, could have been several feet forward, actually. So yes, if you were to freeze that plane, from right to left here, it would have complied and actually been behind it.
And it's in line with the other two houses, essentially?
It is in line and actually a little bit behind.
I was out there and I was trying to figure out what the issue was.
It's a head scratcher. Yeah.
Yeah. And visually, I don't see any difference. So I'm inclined to recommend to the zoning board
That you have no objection?
that we don't have objections.
Uh-huh. All right. Anyone else here? Yeah. Oh, there's a neighbor. Yeah, okay. This is a great time for public comment. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm a neighbor. My name's Maggie Deppenbrock. I live at 333 Nassau Street. I just want to say that, obviously unfortunate that there's an error, but I think that they're doing an excellent job. I walk my dog past this house, and the house fits in the neighborhood, so I'm very appreciative of that. So supportive, one neighbor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? If not, Roger, did you want to make a motion?
I would move to recommend to the zoning board that they accept the placement as is, or whatever the correct
And I guess.
Can you, I couldn't hear you. Can you talk into your phone?
Sorry, what would be the correct phraseology?
That we have no objection to the zoning
Yeah, we have no,
allowance?
Yeah.
I
You
guess
could
I
also
say-
recommend to approve, and that is allowed as
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
think.
Subject to the conditions that were noted in the resolution of approval that was previously granted.
You mean the three
what she
comments?
said.
Okay, all right,
And I guess those would become now recommendations to the zoning board.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah. And so just to kind of touch on that, because one of the comments is it this one? Oh, no, it's not that, but I just wanted to note that the plans that were submitted show a relocation and a change of dimension of the garage. So it was a two-car garage, and now it's shown on the drawing as a one-car shifted behind the house. And when I had talked to Joe, he had stated that he didn't want to hold it up because the application doesn't say that. We didn't have any drawings because obviously this variance is holding up the continued construction of this house. So we would like for them to come back with that, but the drawings that were submitted should not show that garage there. It really should be more of the as-built.
No, understood.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chance that, as they're resyncing the site, that they would want to come back for that, but we consciously meant only to ask the board for this, and get back to construction. Then if they decide to change the garage from what you saw to something behind, we do that separately.
Okay, so we'll be seeing you guys. All right, so
Possibly, yes.
Roger made a motion. Is there a second? Oh, David seconds. All right, I guess we're ready for a vote.
Mr. Shatskin?
yes,
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Shore?
Yes.
Ms. Kroll?
Yes.
Chairperson Capizoli?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for coming in. We'll see you soon. All right. Again, everybody, keep your schedules open for December 1st. Sounds like we're going to be back.
Well, we won't have to, this is only
Yeah, you guys,
344, right?
yeah, you and Emily won't, but David and Roger and I,
Charlotte and
and Charlotte, and maybe Shirley, if she's okay. Oh, gosh.
well, what else can happen?
Is she
There's
doing,
a-
is she okay?
There was a note from Marina.
Oh, gosh, that is not good.
Marina say she's okay.
Oh, we are really, really sad.
So several of us got a note from Marina just a few minutes ago saying just what Leighton said, that, yeah, she got disoriented, but seems to be okay.
Okay, so if we let her know, if she can get around by December 1st, and we'll let Charlotte know that we're meeting on December 1st.
Was it determined that we have a quorum for December 1st?
Yeah, so we hopefully will have a quorum for December
So I
1st.
should still send out that email, right?
What's that?
I should still send out that email about?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the only application we hear, right?
Right, is the only one we would hear would be 344
Okay,
on December 1st.
okay,
Yeah. So we'd be here at 5 o'clock?
yes,
Yeah,
again, it's a
okay.
Monday, right. And I'll just check to make, do you know, is there a council meeting that evening on December 1st? That's the only other conflict we might have, if they have the room.
So we'd have a hard stop at, because they start at 7, right? So we'd have
There's a
a,
meeting there?
so we'd have a hard stop at like 6:45.
It might be hard. I don't think that it would work. I don't think you want to cap on that. And so I just wanted to give the HPC some update. My understanding is the posting for my position ended last Sunday, and I believe that they got a pretty good handful of applications. No meeting? Oh. Leighton says no meeting on December 1st, so that's good.
Oh, good.
No council meeting,
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay.
And really, my work is stopping at the end of November. I mean, I will make myself available for December. And then our last meeting, obviously, I think we have housekeeping to finish up. I'll get the agenda set up for 2026. I do want to talk to Lisa, because as everyone knows, Ed's retiring. And so Lisa Maddox will be stepping in, and I just want to check with her schedule to see if Mondays work, because I think that she has another municipality that she goes to, and again, that would mean that she couldn't stay late, kind of
Yeah,
the same.
I can tell, she has to be in Stockton Borough for 7 PM, but
So what time would that mean? That she'd have to leave almost like 6?
yeah, but I think they may still meet via Zoom. They might not meet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
All
sure,
right.
because I represent their planning board.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, so
So
we
you're
meet via-
familiar with the schedule?
So we meet via Zoom for the planning board, but I don't know, the governing body may meet in person.
I see. Okay. So, so Lisa, Ed, and I are going to talk about her schedule, and the only other date that might be available is Tuesday. So I don't know what everyone's schedule looks like, because Wednesday is zoning board, Thursday is planning board. So no one's going to want to go to a meeting on Friday. So the only other option might be a Tuesday if for some reason that there's a conflict with Lisa's schedule. But, so I'm asking the commission, is Tuesday, if it needed to be changed, is that an option for you? Instead of Monday at 5, Tuesday at 5s?
It's okay with me.
Okay. And I'll check. And Tara, what's your schedule like on Tuesdays?
I have oh gosh, what are my Tuesdays? So I have the first, second, and third Tuesdays of the month I have meetings.
First, second, and third.
It's not great for me.
So Mondays would be preferable if we could stick to it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see what happens. All right.
Okay.
All right, very good. And I'll let everyone know about December 1st. I'll send out an email and make sure we have a quorum.
All right, and just so you know, our December meeting is also like our big party.
Yeah, it's our holiday party.
Yeah, and it's going to be our retirement party for Elizabeth, and we're going to use the room next door for a big, like, buffet and...
Yeah. And the zoning, I talked to Michael, he said that the zoning board would love to come if they get an invitation. So I think that's a really great opportunity for the HPC members to meet the zoning board members. You know, you really don't get to talk with them. I mean, they see the reports and memos and things like that, but I think it's a great opportunity for the both to meet.
Yeah, that would be great. And so it's going to be...
Right. And Tara, we want you to come regardless of, you know.
What day is that?
Julie, what date is the December what? The third Monday of
15th.
December 15th?
Yes, December 15th, so please come. We always have a lot of food.
Yeah.
I will put that on my calendar right now. Yeah. And I did just check, Stockton Borough does still meet via Zoom.
Oh, they
at
do?
7
Okay.
PM, so.
So that's not too bad.
Maybe,
I'll check to see where she usually takes her meetings.
yeah, maybe she
Okay,
could.
5, 6.
Right, or we could...
If Lisa Maddox, she is stepping in for Ed from their firm, but she has another meeting that
Okay.
night.
Right.
And I joked, I said, I actually legally can't cover the Stockton Borough meetings for her because I'm the planning board attorney. I ethically can't also represent them,
Oh,
so I can't even
right.
cover for her there.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, well,
All right.
that's good. This is a shorter meeting than I think that any of us anticipated.
yeah. Is there anything about adaptive reuse? Roger, anyone want to talk about? I think there was a tour of the new Triumph. Yeah, we talked about that before. Okay. Anything else?
When is that dated for? When is that adaptive reuse?
I think that was just looking at Triumph because they reused the post office.
That was in October.
Yeah.
Oh, it already happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it
Oh,
already
I thought it was also going to be the Graduate Hotel, but no.
No, that fell through, at least for the time being. That was on hold.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was announced at the last meeting.
No, we had
Yeah.
we had 20, 25 people on a tour for about 2 hours. Kevin Wilkes led it. He was in charge of coordinating the construction of the new restaurant from the post office.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful site.
Yeah, I thought that maybe they would use those roll-up windows to like serve food, but they don't. It's just all closed, which is too bad. I thought they'd do a little bit more adaptive reuse.
That came up during the tour, and they just said it was too much trouble to, I guess there are different easements in the square, and
Well, there's an easement around the mural that's actually regulated by SHPO.
yeah, no, Kevin pointed that out as well. But there's an easement going into the square. They didn't have that much space to set up tables or.
I see.
Okay.
Anyway, well, we'll keep everybody updated on December 1st, the people who need to be here. Yeah, David.
I just wanted to share with everybody that this past weekend I was at a conference in Providence, Rhode Island, Association of Preservation Technologies. One of the sessions that I sat in on that's germane to our group is something that every community of all sizes, nationwide and perhaps around the world, is how to insert more particularly affordable housing and mid-level housing, particularly in historic districts. And I took a bunch of notes. We'll see if anything ever comes of it. I'm happy to sit down and talk to anybody, anything I learned, but I think it's something we should be keeping our eyes open about. We don't have to invent everything ourselves. We don't have to endure everything by ourselves. We can kind of figure out how to make that balance work. And I think that's what we all want. And then I was fascinated by the guy from the fire company coming in and saying, you know, these transitions of buildings, it's hard and it's something we got to all pay attention to. There's a lot of values.
Yeah.
And so I think
It's-
it's interesting times.
Yeah, it's hard because these demands for housing came all at once since the courts had delayed for decades. So when those rulings came down, all the communities in our area had to respond immediately.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him what he proposed for the building, making it a museum. I'm not sure what he had in mind.
I think they're talking about a firehouse museum in that main area, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what they propose.
Yeah, but it's a very good site for the municipality because they get extra credit by giving up a municipal building. I think it doubles the number of units.
So I guess we'll find out. All right, is there, Leighton?
I just want to share with the committee and the general public that in each and every discussion that we have had with regard to the Chestnut Street Firehouse, with regard to Chief Fields, we have always made everyone understand that we understand that the importance of the legacy of that firehouse and exactly what he said. We have heard, we understand, and we are working and have been working with Ed Trisselli of Princeton Community Housing to make sure that the memorabilia is prominent in the reuse and the adaptive reuse of that building. So we hear him loud and clear, and we understand the full importance of having a footprint there.
And full disclosure, my husband's on the board of Princeton Community Housing, so I'll be recusing on that one. All right, any other items? If not, is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, thank you. Emily made the motion, Roger seconded, and we're all in favor. Thank you.